Joining me in the pit lane, Scott Edgar. Scott, great to see you here at Oulton Park, and fantastic, almost fantastic weather that we've got here today.
Yeah. No, I thought it was going to rain in quali, but it didn't. So
you were lucky there. Looking back at Brands Hatch, took a win there and second in the championship point so far. You must be pleased with that one.
Yeah, really pleased. I should have had 2 really, but there you go. Messed it up in race 1, so.
Do you want to talk about it?
Not really.
Not a problem.
My fault, anyway.
Oh, fair enough. The cars here look fantastic. JG Racing's, you've got 3 of them here. They all look ready to race today.
Yeah, really good. I think we've all got quite a good pace. So yeah, Chris is doing well. We made a good tyre choice for quali, so hopefully go forward in the race.
Awesome stuff. And yeah, we're looking for a race win today. Is that on the cards?
Maybe if it's wet or it rains a little bit. I think dry second is more realistic.
Now, for some reason, I've been told to talk about bananas with you. Is there a specific reason for that?
No, I'm not a clue. I mean, I have a banana before every race, but that's about it.
Fair enough. Awesome stuff. Best of luck for this weekend, and yeah, good luck out there.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Red lights are about to go on then for 15 minutes of racing in the K-Tec Racing Clio 182 Championship. Round number 6 gets underway now. And it's a good start by Polly, but a pretty reasonable start by everybody, actually. Scott Edgar there in second. Ollie Wayne is trying to hold on to third position from all comers, really, behind him. And they disappear their way around Oulton Corner and down towards Cascades for the first time. I think they've all just about managed to stay on the circuit. But Jay Daniels, by the way, has just got going. I think he had a problem getting off the line, number 31, but he has got going now. But he's 15 or 20 seconds behind the rest of the field, who are down at Cascades.
Ollie Wayne was sandwiched between Scott Edgar and I think Simon Freeman through Oulton Corner, and there was a bit of contact between the 3 of them, and Wayne was the one that came off the worst, dropped down to 5th place by the time they got down to Cascade, so he's got some work to do. The man that started 3rd on the grid, it's Polly from Freeman, the top 2 then, so down to 3rd place for Scott Edgar. Up into 4th position has come Josh Larkin, so it's a real mixed order. And look at the way that Freeman is virtually pushing the race 1 winner Ryan Polly through the hairpin there. There was definitely a bit of contact between the 2 of them, but it is the blue, white and yellow number 17 car that is in second, leaps over the curbs as they go through the Britain chicane there to Simon Freeman. Started 4th, got a good start, and is doing everything he can now to go with Ryan Polly, the race leader.
Absolutely right. So Freeman 4th in the championship coming into this weekend, and 4th in the earlier race. Well, so I imagine probably still 4th in the championship too, although they may have got ahead of Don de Graaf, who's not here this weekend actually, as they make their way out of Knickerbrook and ready to make the climb up Clay Hill for the first time in this race. The car's pretty much single file as they do so. Polly, though, probably will appreciate here that he's got a bit of a fight on his hands. Number 17, Simon Freeman in second. 21, Scott Edgar third. Josh Larkin, number 13, in that Battleship Grey and Dayglow yellow car in 4th position. Then it is the Ollie Wayne car back in 5th place then, having started on row 2.
Yes, Edgar and Wayne, who we kind of thought would be Ryan Polly's closest rivals in this race. Neither of them had a good start. Up the inside there, a nice move made into Lodge Corner for Christopher Keir, who went off at Knickerbrook in race 1. Dives up the inside there of Stephen Richardson's number 7 car into the right-hander at the end of the lap, and therefore will come across the start-finish line in 9th place now. So Keir already a couple of places higher than he finished in the opening race. It's Polly that leads by 0.8 of a second over Simon Freeman, number 17 in second. Scott Edgar, number 21, is third. Number 13, Josh Larkin, 4th, and number 86, Ollie Wayne in 5th place. That group of cars just making their way through Cascades for the second time.
Yeah, Chris Keir, who we saw make that move there in his first season of racing, hadn't done any racing before this, although had taken part in one of those racing scholarships and done quite well. There is number 17, Simon Freeman, then second position, 0.8 behind Ryan Polly at the beginning of the lap. Still looks like it's about the same kind of margin now. They're turning their way through Shell Oil's corner for the second time in this race. A few car lengths between them, and then a similar gap back to Scott Edgar in 3rd place, really. Bit of a bigger gap back to Josh Larkin in 4th, and then the gaps get ever bigger as you go along, really. Back to Ollie Wayne's in 5th position at the moment. 12 minutes of the 15 still left to go in this race. Quite a lot of curb being taken there by Simon Freeman on the exit of Britain's upon 2 or 3 wheels for a fraction of a second. And back down the hill they come towards Hislops. A bit of jostling in the mid-pack there, but up front at the moment, Andy, it's sort of single file.
Yeah, I was about to say that I'm impressed with Simon Freeman's pace here. He seems able to live with Ryan Polly's speed, but then it does look like he's working rather harder to go to that speed than Ryan himself is. But yeah, they're all kind of equidistantly spaced out, aren't they, as they go over Clay Hill. We'll have to wait and see how the race develops, I suppose, if some drivers come on stronger in the second half. There goes the 77 car. That's Andrew Harding running in 6th place, just going through Druid's corner. Stephen Langton behind him, David Garside, Christopher Keir. Christopher Keir could be the one on the move because he was running solidly inside the top 10 when he had that off in race 1. Dropped him down to about 12th place or so. So we'll see. His next target was David Garside, the 44 car. That would have been for 8th place. Leaders through them, and the lead gap I think has gone back out. Yeah, 1.1 seconds near enough now is the gap. The closest of the battles does involve Christopher Keir and David Garside. So there you go. That was a successful prediction. Has a dive up the inside into Oulton corner. Garside flings it in, runs a bit wide there. They're both hopping and skipping over the curbs. That nearly ended in tears. Garside has the inside line for Cascades, but the momentum is with Christopher Keir, the 22 car. They're wheel to wheel into the left-hander. Garside will hang on. That was very close to disaster.
Sort of brings Stephen Richardson back into it as well a little bit, doesn't it? The 42-year-old from Milton Keynes, who's a window cleaning company director. And oh, that's Thomas Hall that's stopped there, number 88. So he had stopped on the previous lap, hadn't he? But the gap between the two leaders certainly coming down. Possibly Polly reacting a bit more to the yellow flag or something there than was number 17 Simon Freeman, as drivers of course do have to slow down when they see the yellow flag, and of course no overtaking allowed in that situation. But Polly now has a much bigger shadow in the form of Simon Freeman, who has got his headlamps on as well, so he's showing a bit of determination here. I'm not sure that Ryan Polly is the kind of driver who's going to be intimidated out of the way by some headlamps, but nevertheless Simon Freeman is putting the pressure on.
Freeman looking for his first win of the year, I would venture, ever in the championship. I think I'm right in saying he's had a podium earlier on this year, a 3rd place, but yet to win. He's already on them for his best career finish in the championship, but can he make it a race victory? He's really harrying Ryan Polly as they go over Clay Hill. Past the water tower, this is bringing Scott Edgar into play as well. So I said a lap ago that the gaps were all pretty big and we'd have to wait and see how this race developed. It's developing rather nicely, isn't it? Whatever the reason was for this lead gap coming down, it really has. And Simon Freeman applying the pressure to Ryan Polly, who has this reasonable championship margin over Scott Edgar, who at the moment he was outscoring. So he probably won't want to take a massive risk to keep Freeman behind, and it certainly seems that Freeman is determined to find a way through. So yeah, be interesting to see with 9 minutes left on the clock how this one works out.
Yeah, Freeman had one top 6 finish last year. I don't think he did all the rounds last year, but certainly going pretty well here, isn't he? Half a second the gap between himself and the race leader Ryan Polly after the first 3 laps of the race. They drop back down towards Cascades for the 3rd time, about 4 car lengths between them, as you can see as they turn their way through Cascades onto the Lakeside Straight and towards Island they go, with 8.5 minutes of the race still remaining. So Freeman here is looking for that victory, passing the car of his teammate Thomas Hall that's stationary on the side of the circuit, sadly having completed anything 1 lap. Yeah, it was. Oh, and off over there. He's gone through round the outside. So is that a problem? He's certainly got a problem now, Ryan Polly, because his car is going slowly and he's pulling off onto the grass. Oh dear, the car just didn't accelerate out of the hairpin. It caught Simon Freeman out, who very nearly headbutted him coming out of the right-hander. And so Ryan Polly is out of the race. So as they come back into your view down at Knickerbrook, it is going to be Simon Freeman, the new race leader, Scott Edgar 2nd, and Josh Larkin into a podium place. Freeman sliding the car around under braking. Now, they get a drop score, don't they? So this, I suppose, will become Ryan Polly's drop score. It's not going to have a massive impact on the championship, but he'll be disappointed nonetheless that he can't add to that win tally. Yeah, 2 drop scores, in fact. So he's got a little bit in hand. It's not a complete disaster, and I guess if we could have a DNF, it's probably better to have it in the 2nd race of the weekend rather than the 1st. There's a month before the next round at Mallory Park. So this now is the battle for victory. It is between 2 blue and white cars, basically. 17 Simon Freeman and 21 Scott Edgar. And let's not write off Josh Larkin. He's only a second or so behind, and Ollie Wayne only another sort of 8 tenths behind him. So these are the 4 cars that we're going to have our winner from, I suggest, this time around, with 7 minutes of the race left to go. Up to the line they come to complete lap number 4, and Simon Freeman it is that leads. Number 17 from number 21 in second place, Scott Edgar. 13 in third place is Josh Larkin. In fourth place is number 86, Ollie Wayne. Fifth, I think, is going to be number 77 now, Andrew Harding as it is, and up to sixth is number 11, Stephen Langton.
Yes, and I was charting the progress earlier on of Christopher Keir, who actually had dropped back behind Stephen Richardson. So Stephen Richardson, the number 7 car, is back ahead of him from what is now 8th place. Christopher Keir 9th and Neil Heath in 10th. So not quite sure how that all happened. Race leaders, though, head back down the Lakeside Straight again. And Simon Freeman, well, he's been applying the pressure so far in this race to Ryan Polly. Now, how is his defensive driving? Can he keep Scott Edgar behind? Of course, Scott will be even more determined now to try and get his second win of the year, to capitalise on this non-finish for Ryan Polly. No sign of Ryan's car there at the side of the road, so he's clearly been able to get the car to a safe place, which is good news. It must have had some power then for him to be able to do that, but I don't think he's made it back to the pit lane, so the car is stuck at the far end of the track. Thankfully, though, no need for yellow flags or safety cars.
Pretty tight as they come down to Hislops for the 5th time in this race, and Scott Edgar senses his chance of a second victory of the year here, but not if Simon Freeman can do anything about it. Blocked the way there. You play a little bit too much curb there on the second apex of the corner, but it doesn't seem to have done him too much harm. It's still Freeman then that leads. Scott Edgar in second place. Ryan Polly is just making it back to the pit lane now as we speak. And then third place, Josh Larkin. Andy's keeping on what's going on out of the window. I'll keep it on what's going on here, because it's got Edgar looking up the inside of Freeman there as they head into the right-hander at Druids, but Freeman still just about holding on. So Freeman, Edgar and Larkin, and it definitely is now a 3-car fight for the lead.
Yeah, because Freeman defended so heavily into the Hislop chicane and it slowed them both up. So yeah, that number 13 car then of Josh Larkin, also looking, I guess, for his first victory in the championship, is there in third place, and the three of them will come across the start-finish line with just under 5 minutes to go, with absolutely nothing to choose between them. The top three covered by less than 7/10 as the spectacular Simon Freeman slides his way into Old Hall Corner. Some terrific battles going on further back as well, I can see out of the window there. We daren't take our eyes off this lead battle, really, but for, what was that, 6th position, Stephen Langton, David Garside, Stephen Richardson and Christopher Keir all together, heading down towards the left-hander at Cascades. But it is that lead battle then that is keeping us all on the edge of our seats. They're heading into Island Bend now. Still the blue and white car ahead of the white and blue, if you see what I mean, of Scott Edgar, with the grey and yellow of Josh Larkin. Just keeping a watching brief for now, but he'll get stuck in if he sees half a chance to.
Jay Daniels, by the way, up to 17th now. He's got ahead of Simon Vincent after that problem on the start line, and I think he could make up another 2 or 3 places before this race is over, but there's only 4 minutes left in which to do it. Simon Freeman it is that continues to lead as they go through Britons this time, from Scott Edgar in second and Josh Larkin in third place. Larkin so far this season, well, he's 5th in the championship, yet to be on the podium. So, but he has had a couple of top 6 finishes. Down towards Hislops they go, and it's very close to this contact. Off onto the grass goes the number 17 car, and I think the fact that there is the bumper from the front of the Scott Edgar car that tells you quite a bit there, because I think there was a little bit of touching there, wasn't there, Andy?
100%, yeah. He was trying to cut in behind Freeman, but Freeman was busy trying to stop for the corner, and the two met in the middle. So, well, Edgar, what's left of his car at least, gets the lead, and now all of a sudden the favourite for this might be Josh Larkin, who's just kept himself out of trouble. That damage to the front of Edgar's car is going to slow him down. I'm sure the clerk of the course will want a word after that contact as well. So Larkin now senses an opportunity for a first victory. Goes to the outside into Lodge Corner. The grey and yellow number 13 car looking to try and get a good exit from the right-hander to challenge for the race lead across the start-finish line. He's in the slipstream now. Edgar will have no choice but to defend the inside line on the way into Old Hall Corner. Larkin goes to the outside. They almost lean on each other. Watch for the good exit here from Larkin. He takes the wide line into the sweeping right-hander. Carries good momentum off the corner. Now, which way does Edgar go? He goes right, but not as far right as Larkin, who tries to pull alongside. So hard to run side by side through Denton's though, and Larkin sensibly backed out of that one.
And let's not forget, Ollie Wayne isn't too far behind all of this as well, and that gap from second to third, I reckon, is coming down now. Where did the car of Freeman come through in the end? It came through 5th. So he did lose, 4 places therefore as a result of all of that. Larkin almost looking to get alongside again, going into the Shallow Oils hairpin there. Again, possibly taking a chance on getting a better exit from the corner and a run into Britons, but no, he's not going to do that there. But you can see quite heavy damage then on the front of the 21 car of Scott Edgar. He's still there in the lead from number 13. In second place, Josh Larkin, and 30's number 86, Ollie Wayne. Andrew Hardy now up to 4th position in the number 77 car, and Simon Freeman in 5th. So Josh Larkin is going to have another go here by the looks of it. Down into Hislops, though, under braking. He's got his car alongside. Edgar tries to turn in, and there wasn't really room for both of them there, and they've both got through the corner at least this time, and they've stayed in the same order, but this really has brought Wayne back into the equation as well.
Yeah, they're really holding each other up. Wayne was about 3/4 of a second quicker than the leader last time around. He's even quicker, I'd say, on this lap, because as they head towards Druids, they are all as one pretty much. Scott Edgar robustly, I think is the word, defending his race lead there. There was no doubt Larkin was up the inside. In fact, I think he had his nose in front turning into the Hislop chicane, but Edgar just kept on turning in and kind of forced Larkin to bail out of it. Larkin looks quicker again, though, as we saw last lap, takes the wider line into Lodge Corner, tries to tee up the good exit here to carry the momentum across the start-finish line, which he does. He's in the slipstream. It's going to be almost an action replay of what we had a lap ago, I think, with Edgar defending the inside. Larkin goes to the outside line, onto what will be the final lap of the race now, though, and Josh Larkin with inches between the front of his car and the rear of Scott Edgar's car. In fact, he might be pushing him down the avenue there that close into Cascades, which is an overtaking opportunity, but once more, Edgar has the inside line covered.
Yeah, so they head down there then. I don't think we're going to get any improvement in the lap record in this race. 2:01.85 for Ryan Polly. He's just going back out into the race, actually. He was 100th slower than he managed in the early race, which in turn was 6/10 per second outside the lap record. But as they head down towards Shellow's corner, Josh Larkin is setting himself up for a move here. He was going to put himself on the outside line for the sweeping left-hander at Island. He's now on the outside line for the hairpin as well. The danger is he's leaving a gap on the inside there for Ollie Wayne to try and find a way through as well. He's not done it. But equally, he's not got ahead of Scott Edgar either. So I suspect it's going to be a question of what happens down into Hislops, although there are some more overtaking opportunities after that, of course. So let's see them as they go through Britons. All of them using the curb to a greater or lesser extent there. Cresting Hilltop, dropping now down into Hislops. Are they going to get side by side? Well, Scott Edgar driving up the middle of the road, really. Bits of car falling off as he goes around, and no real damage done, I don't think, to any of the two cars behind. But Larkin certainly not there, Andy, able to make a move.
Yeah, there was no way Edgar was letting him have the inside line that time, but coming off Knickerbrook, Larkin is quicker. He's back in the tow again over Clay Hill. It's going to be another one of those classic Oulton Park Lodge Corner last lap moments, isn't it? Because they're almost wheel to wheel into Druids now. Again, Edgar taking the tight line in. That will slow him down on the exit, and Josh Larkin is going to be well within striking range. Down towards the final corner they come then. One more opportunity for Josh Larkin to get his first victory of the year. He can't get up the inside. He goes to the outside, draws dead level with Scott Edgar as they turn into the corner. This could be a real drag race to the line. Edgar is slower off Lodge than the car behind. They're wheel to wheel. Get the photo finish cameras ready because it's going to be almost a dead heat. Who gets there? Too close to call from the eye. The timing screen has it as a dead heat between the two of them to the 100th of a second. They can't be separated. Josh Larkin and Scott Edgar. I have no idea who won that race, but my word, I enjoyed it.
It's a great finish, wasn't it? You could kind of sense that kind of finish coming. We do know that Ollie Wayne was third. There's no doubt about that. He was 6/10 of a second behind the two drivers that shared first and second between them. Andrew Hardy, number 77, took fourth. Fifth to number 17, Simon Freeman. Sixth to number 11, Stephen Langton. Stephen Richardson, David Garside, Neil Heath, Chris Lawrence, they're going to have rounded out the top 10. But you're absolutely right. On our timer screens at the moment, 0.00 seconds. So the timekeepers will go back and check that and see if they can put even a hair's breadth between them and decide who actually won and who gets the points. But Josh Larkin has come through first on our screens, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll be eventually credited with the race victory. But if it is, then that's his first win in the K-Tec Racing Clio 182 Championship. And if it's not, I think it's his first podium. So nevertheless, it would be not too bad a day's work from him. But certainly a feisty race, that one, wasn't it, Andy?
They were... Am I in trouble? Yes, they were getting their elbows out, weren't they? As they did in race one, to be fair. But I would say that Scott Edgar may have a bit of a case to fight for that contact that he had with Simon Freeman. Certainly Simon won't be happy with what happened down at the Hislop chicane a few laps before the end of the race, but then Josh Larkin he teed that move up perfectly, and ironically it's the first, he tried that the last couple of laps to get the switchback coming out of Lodge Corner. That was the first time that it worked and he got up the inside. Had the race been a lap longer, he would have had the inside line for Old Hall and he might be able to go through and well and truly take the victory. As it was though, it was the last lap, and the timekeepers will have a camera positioned on the start finish line for just this eventuality. And in fact our screen, no, it's still saying
no, it's showing Scott Edgar now. We're just waiting for it to. Ooh, I think they're undecided. we've got a split decision. That's not helping anybody, is it? On the timing tower, it's now saying Scott Edgar by 0.01 seconds. But I think, yeah, I'm going to go with that because that's also updated on my laptop as well, and I know where that feed's coming from. So Scott Edgar has got the verdict by 100th of a second, and it didn't look like it was that much, to be honest with you.
No, that was extremely tight, wasn't it? Brilliant racing, though. And this is a feature of this championship for the last few years now. It's been consistently producing fantastic racing because the cars are all evenly matched. They're a shape of car that produce close racing anyway, and because you're not allowed a huge amount of modification, they don't have a lot of mechanical grip, and that in itself always tends to produce great racing. And yeah, we've been treated to two absolute classics here today at Oulton Park.
Yeah, absolutely right. So a great race for the K-Tec Racing Clio 182 Championship. Still 2 more meetings to go for them this season, as we say, Mallory Park and Silverstone to round out the year. But let's head now down to Anthony Jordan.
There we go, down in the pit lane. We'll have a word with Scott in just a moment. He's just been spoken to by the marshals at the moment. I think that's obviously due to the very close race finish that we saw in that one. Scott, just going to jump in there.
Had a little bit of damage somewhere, I think, from a bit of contact, so it wasn't too good at the end.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I think a little bit's come off the front of the car, just a little bit.
Out there, yeah. I did see one on the grass at the chicane. So.
Well, once you come out, you'll know which part it was. But yeah, no, again, fantastic race, and that's so close to the end. So close to the end.
Yeah, as I say, the tyres were shot, so I don't know if I've damaged the suspension somewhat, but.
Oh, no, yeah, so you must be pleased with that one, as I say, to the finish. But obviously, Marshall's just coming up there. Not sure what they said to you, but yeah, I think something to do with the close finish.
I think so. Yeah,
definitely. Well done for today, mate. Cracking race.
Thanks a lot.
With Anthony Jordan down there in Parc Fermé after the race. Let's have a look at the results, and it was Scott Edgar then classified as the winner, but by the narrowest of margins after 8 laps, just 100th of a second between him and number 13 Josh Larkin. So car 21 getting the win. Third place to number 86 Ollie Wayne, only 6 seconds behind him. In fourth place number 77 Andrew Harding. Then in fifth spot number 17 Simon Freeman. Sixth to number 11 Stephen Langton. 7th to number 7 Stephen Richardson. All of these 7 within 10 seconds of the victory, by the way. Then David Garside, Neil Heath and Chris Lawrence running out the top 10. Michael Ward and Gareth Tansey 11th and 12th. A bit further back, 13th place number 35 James Bishop. Then Justin Griffiths, Jay Daniels getting back to 15th place in the end after failing to get off the line at the start. Alan Peterson and Simon Vincent, the only 2 of the finishers in 16th and 17th position. We lost Chris Keir, Ryan Polly and Tom Hall along the way.